Good morning, America. How are you? Monday Morning Rail. Hi, I'm Denny Jelsma, and I am at the world famous Jacksonville Terminal Railroad Museum. It's Monday, and you know what we do every Monday? You guessed it, we do show and tell. Show and tell is always brought to you by Jelsma Graphics, the people who make all the embroidered railroad clothing since 1985. You go to jelsma.com, that's JELSMA.com, and go on the website and shop to your heart's content. With all that being said, show and tell is going to start right now. Show and tell starts right now. I think we have a very exciting show today, and we're going to talk about the Rock Island. Once again, one of my favorite railroads. The Rock Island had a lot of passenger trains and went all over, and they just went all over the heartland. But the train that I'm going to talk about today is called the Arizona Limited. It was a seasonal train that the Rock Island promoted, and their partner was the Southern Pacific. And the Arizona Limited went from Chicago to Phoenix, Arizona, and really in the Midwest they kind of had that market kind of captured, the high-end type market. You got to remember that in the Midwest, the Mississippi was kind of the dividing line years ago. If you lived west of the Mississippi, you would go to Texas or Arizona to winter and be a snowbird. If you was east, you would go to the Gulf Coast or into Florida. Now a lot of that has changed now with the airplane, but what they did, they decided that they needed a high-end market to go to Phoenix, because a lot of people from the Midwest wintered in Arizona and in the Phoenix area. And so they came up with a train and that they worked with their partner, who was the Southern Pacific. And it was called the Arizona Limited. And it started in the winter of 1940 in December, and it left around 8:45 in the evening, and there was 2 nights out. And it got there, if it left on a Monday, it got there Wednesday morning into Phoenix at around 11:30. And it was 39 hours of traveling. It made 10 stops, and it averaged 48 to 50 miles an hour. And so that train was really hustling down the line. It was first advertised as a all Pullman, and that's what it was, a Pullman. It was a high-end train, and there was no coaches. It was all big compartments, Pullmans, and they wanted to cater to the high-end people that would pay the big bucks, and it was really a money maker for the Rock Island and the Southern Pacific. And because there was no direct line from the Chicago area or Kansas City in that area to Phoenix, you could get there, but you had to change trains, and there was no designated train. And so this was very common by railroads in the 30s, 40s, 50s to have designated trains on the East Coast, the Florida Special, the Orange Blossom Special, other trains that were dedicated for seasonal purposes. But the Arizona Limited was first pulled by the 4.8 the heavy Rock Island engine. And this one here for my train here is Rock Island. They had a combination baggage and a crew dormitory car. They had a dining car, and they typically had 6 to 8 cars. Coachyard brought in the Arizona Limited a few years ago, and theirs was 7 cars. And then they had the stainless steel observation car. The SP actually provided this, and it left every third day. and so they really didn't only needed really one set, and so it was very popular, and it was a very fast train, and they had all the amenities that you could about imagine. And so the Rock Island brought it all the way to Tucumcari, New Mexico, and the SB, Southern Pacific, took it on from Tucumcari all the way into Phoenix. They went to El Paso and then up into they left the southern line, went up a little north, went into Phoenix, and it ran until the winter of 1942. It only ran 2 years, and the reason why it stopped because of the war, and they took the train off and used it for troops, and so and that happened on a lot of different railroads around the United States when that's specialized. But the Arizona Limited was a Rock Island, Southern Pacific, went to Tucumcari. Now, Tucumcari was a division point, but actually the Rock Island owned the track to a little town called Roseville, just down about 20 miles down the track. But Tucumcari was a town, and that designated a division point. And so, very nice train, and that's the way it is at the world famous Jacksonville Terminal Railroad Museum, beautiful Jacksonville, Florida, where the sun always shines, and running trains is a pleasure.